Finally, the deadline for the democratic memory law has ended, which means it's no longer possible to benefit from this route to apply for Spanish nationality. So what now? What options do you have from now on to become a Spanish citizen? Let's go through the key dates, real requirements, and all the information that you need to understand what to do next depending on your particular case. Context about the Democratic Memory Law. The Democratic Memory Law, known as Law 20/2022, allowed thousands of descendants of Spaniards living abroad to apply for Spanish nationality by origin. Through its 8th additional provision, it opened the possibility for children and grandchildren of Spanish exiles, as well as individuals whose parents had acquired nationality through the previous historical memory law, to become Spanish citizens. It was a great opportunity to reconnect with Spain without the need to live in the country, and this law generated enormous interest and enabled hundreds of foreigners to obtain Spanish citizenship. The initial deadline to benefit from this law was 2 years from its entry into force on October 21st, 2022. However, in July 2024, the government extended that deadline for 1 more year, a year during which getting an appointment at any civil registry became almost impossible. Therefore, the final date was October 22nd, 2025. From that day onward, consulates no longer accept new applications or appointments under this law. In other words, it's no longer possible to benefit from the Democratic Memory Law. Moreover, no new extension is expected, which means the law has officially come to an end. What if I had an appointment or submitted my application before October 22nd? Well, if you submitted your file or had an appointment scheduled before October 22nd, 2025, your application remains valid and will continue to be processed. In other words, if you started the process within the deadline, there's no reason to worry, your application is still in progress. The consulates and the Ministry of Justice will continue handling pending cases according to official guidelines. You don't need to resubmit your documents or start a new process. Just make sure to keep your application received and check your file status periodically. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so. It helps us keep creating content weekly, videos like this one with all the legal information that you need as a foreigner in Spain. So hit that subscribe button and let's move on. What options do I have now to obtain Spanish nationality? Many of you either didn't make it in time to apply or didn't fully meet the requirements to benefit from this law. So, is there an alternative for you? The answer is yes. Even though the Democratic Memory Law has ended, there are still several legal pathways to obtain Spanish nationality depending on your situation. How can you become a Spanish citizen from now on? Well, you have 5 different options. The first one is nationality by residence. This is the most common option and it requires living legally for a specific period of time with a valid residence permit. Here we're talking about 10 years for the general case, just 2 years if you are a citizen of an Ibero-American country, Andorra, the Philippines, Equatorial Guinea, or Portugal, and in some cases just 1 year, for example, if you are married to a Spanish citizen or were born in Spain. Second, nationality by option, designed for children of Spaniards or those who were under the legal custody of a Spanish citizen. It's a quick route for many descendants who didn't qualify under the Democratic Memory Law, especially if one of their parents is Spanish by origin. Third, by royal decree, naturalization, an exceptional pathway granted by the Spanish government for special circumstances such as outstanding service to Spain or humanitarian reasons. Fourth, by possession of status, applies also to very specific cases in which a person has used Spanish nationality for years under the legitimate belief that it belonged to them. And fifth, by recovery of nationality, for individuals who were once Spanish citizens but lost their nationality for various reasons and now wish to recover it by establishing legal residence in Spain. Each of these options has its own requirements, timelines, and procedures, but all of them remain fully valid and allow you to obtain Spanish nationality without depending on the Democratic Memory Law. As you can see, the end of the Democratic Memory Law does not mean the end of opportunities to become a Spanish citizen. There are other legal routes still available and in many cases even faster. If you'd like to find out which option fits your situation best or what steps to take next, get in touch with one of our immigration lawyers. We'll guide you step by step and help you resolve all your doubts. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet. See you in the next video.